Hello, welcome to your fairy tale wedding show. I am your host, Claudia Chen. If you're having a proper wedding reception, then you'll most likely need to consider hiring an MC for your big day. Here with us today is a professional master of ceremonies, Madar, to share with us a little bit more about his role and how to find a perfect one for you. Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Hey, Claudia. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing very well. And
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Would you be able to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and how you got into MC?
Yeah, okay, sure. So when people see my last name, Madar, just to give you a bit of background about myself, I was born in Hong Kong, came to Canada at a very young age. I'm part Chinese, Indian, Persian, Arabic, and Polynesian. And, so a little bit of United Nations there. And growing up in Hong Kong, so that's why I speak fluent Cantonese. And I lived in Taiwan before for a bit, so I do speak Mandarin as well. And I find that really comes in handy when it comes to being an MC for weddings and different types of, let's say, community events even. Very, very handy.
Now that you're talking about MC, could you share with us what an MC actually does? And can you tell us what makes you stand out from other MCs?
Okay. So I find out with an MC, especially for a good MC, I remember working with different wedding planners before. And I still remember one of the top-notch ones in Toronto. The first time I worked with her, she even said, Aaron, you're not like an actual MC. You're like a project manager. You're running around doing everything, talking to the venue, talking to the manager, making sure things are okay, to not serve the food yet or the speeches aren't done yet. And I'm just really used to that because I have an event promotion background. From my previous job and even my current role. And so I'm just used to kind of being like a project manager and running a lot of things, at the actual event, making sure things start on time. If they're running late, who is the person to go to and talk to? And so I think that's the main thing for the MC is to really make sure everything is smooth that night, things go well. Things will change. I mean, you try and follow the itinerary, rundown schedule, but things will happen. And you need somebody who's professional, who can go with the flow and just kind of be on the fly and change and just adapt.
That's very good. And I know not only do you do wedding MCs, you also do other events.
Yes. So feel free, look me up, Google me, Aaron Madar, #MC Aaron Madar, and you will see that I've been very, very involved in the community with charity organizations, nonprofit. So I've emceed events such as Mayor's Luncheon, hockey games. There was a cancer run for a relay for life. I've done all these different types of events. Markville Mall, I was in the mall hosting the Chinese New Year event. So the fact is, by doing so many events, what I think that makes me stand out and a little more different as well is when you work weddings is one thing, but when you deal with politicians, political events, fundraisers, corporate events, it's very, very unique. One of the biggest ones I did was a business awards gala down at the Ritz-Carlton. And I'm telling you, eye-opening. Once you get into different things, it really gives you a lot more white hair, gray hair, more experience.
So now that you have talked about the things that you do in the background as an MC, like you try to organize things in the background, making sure everything runs smoothly, can you expand a little bit on that and give us a few reasons why a wedding couple should hire an MC for their wedding day?
Yes. Okay. So I still remember this. Just last year, actually, I was at One King West working with this wedding planner that I worked with before. And it was just kind of funny. The first thing right when I saw her, she said to me, oh, Aaron, I'm so glad, that we're working together again, because she just recently did a wedding maybe a week or two before. And she said the MC basically got drunk halfway throughout the night. And so that's not something you want. And also, I think some folks don't realize this. For myself now, I've been an MC for close to 20 years. So I really enjoy this. I enjoy getting out there, talking to people, public speaking. But a lot of people don't enjoy it. And if you ask your good friend to MC, for example, you want your friend to actually enjoy the night, enjoy your big night, have fun with you. So that's what I really find, and that's what I tell people. Yeah.
That's a very good tip. And especially you want to, when you're hiring a vendor, you want to make sure that they're professional and they represent you, because when you're hiring someone, you want all your guests to see the best side of your show. And definitely having a professional vendor to be working with you is very important.
Yes, yes, that is definitely key, and that's the key to a great night. You want everybody to enjoy it. You want everybody to talk about it for years to come, and the last thing you want is not as pleasant experience. Yeah.
Exactly, for sure. So when it's time for wedding couples to look for an MC, when would you suggest it would be the best time for them to look for one?
I would say as soon as possible. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there who can do it, but I mean, the better ones usually are more in demand, right? So it's just like anything in life. Sooner you meet with them, talk with that person, and deal with them, and try and arrange the meeting, I would say the better. So the earlier the better. Don't put it off till late, because when you put it off till late, you might not have choices left.
For sure. Now that we have gone into hiring an MC, what would the process be when a wedding couple to work with them to make sure that everything goes as flow on the big day?
What I would usually do is first I would maybe come out for a coffee meeting with them, just to chat, make sure that, we like each other, we get along. I mean, that's going to be key, right? So usually once that is said and done, and then basically there's multiple ways of staying in touch. I mean, some folks just prefer to, let's say, Google Docs, some want to do it through WhatsApp or whatnot. And so I'll be very honest with you, working with so many different people, different organizations and groups in the past. And I just know that you work with them and you deal with them, and whatever is more convenient, by all means, very, very flexible.
So we have kind of talked about Google them and you fall in love with them. What are some of the questions that couples should ask the MC to make sure that they are really compatible?
I would think that once you really meet that person face to face, that would definitely be pretty much the very first step. And what I would highly recommend, though, is also looking for somebody with the experience. Because, even that wedding planner said, hey, anybody, a friend can maybe be an MC sometimes. But if you have somebody, I always say this, in this world nowadays, when you Google somebody, you see what they've done in life and what they do. And that's the most important thing. It's the experience. You want the experience because things in this world can happen. Not everything goes to script sometimes, no matter what. And you want the person that has the experience and a variety types of different, settings, atmosphere. And those are the kind of folks I find that can definitely adjust and do well.
I would have to say I agree with you just because having that experience is key. For example, sometimes it may take the brides a little bit longer to change into the next dress, or like the food hasn't come yet. So that adaptability is very important.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, sometimes there's technical issues that happen as well. Technical issues can come up, right? Different things, and small things can pop up, and you need somebody that's experienced to handle it. Yeah.
All right. So is there anything you would like to add in terms of you working with a couple?
I just find that, contact me if you, as I said, Google me as well. And once you really look me up, by all means, phone call first, maybe video chat, whatever is more comfortable, right? But always, I would say over a coffee is usually the best. And then once we do that, once you meet in person, I find that that's basically the best thing.
All right. So our interview is coming to a close, and I know that you have a free gift for our viewers. Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So what I would actually be giving you folks is there's a sample itinerary. So kind of more like a schedule rundown, whichever wording you want to use, and basically that would give you a rough idea of how your night should kind of go. And I would say though that's nothing. That's more like a very general template in a way, and then it's up to your day of how you modify it. But that will give you a good head start, and I think that way it will help you to plan your big day.
Perfect. Thank you so much for spending time with us, and thank you for your generous gift. And it was great chatting with you, Aaron.
Great. Thank you so much. And I look forward to it, meeting you and meeting even more other couples out there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.